Feeler gauge is held under. My thumb is pulling the other strings out of the way. One thing that you will notice, this head will move around on you, so keep it parallel. You've got a little bit of crazy glue on it already. Check it, make sure it's parallel before you drive it home. Now that I've driven it home, it has firmly met that feeler gauge, which will keep it where it needs to be. This is the last spike going in. I've already installed the B spike. This is the C spike going in. A little bit of crazy glue down here in the pin. I line it. Got the neck block, the rest under it. Get it started. You saw how that went down so easy. That's because of the cavity. So I left this one a little longer. Now, in my opinion, that one's not long enough. Here's what I do, preferably before the glue dries. I grab my little small set of removers. This is important. Remember, a lot of times it's not knowing what to do. It's knowing what to do if what you're doing doesn't go the way you expect it. You see if I can get the light in here. I want to gently, no pressure here, just enough to hold it, and then rock it back and remove that spike. If you press too hard, the head of that spike will snip off, and you've got a permanent spike embedded in here that you will not get out. You'll have to work with it, doctor it up, make it look like wood, move one beside it, which is fine if something happens and one breaks off. It's just the way it is sometimes, but you try to avoid that. Now, this one I'm going to go ahead and install it. This one at full length, because I want a little meat under that, because that's a cavity there. So you got nothing until you get past this marker, side position marker. I'm going to snip this off camera. The head of the spike. The head of the spike only for this one. I'm going to leave the rest of this full length. I'm going to look at it again to make sure that it'll handle it. It's far enough inland that you won't poke through the neck, and I think we're good. A little bit of crazy glue here. Alignment. Start it. Move it up a little bit. Lock it. Now I've got something solid under there. Install the feeler gauge for a stop. That felt much more solid. Now, I'm going to put my hand right around here just to protect it. Just a little bit of accelerator. Probably doesn't need it. Makes me feel better. Next step. Here's something else I do with the accelerator. I squirt this bit of crazy glue that's in here. It hardens. Then I can close the lid of my spikes without getting it all over my spikes. Those little Altoids tins are pretty abundant around my shop. So if it gets too gnarly looking, I'll just replace it. Alright, there's the raw spike installed. Now what I want to do is show you how to clean it up. Alright, now we're going to be working with the tape dispenser. Pull off a length that is that's wider than the fingerboard. On the upper side of the spike, slide your feeler gauge, same one, pull it through, tape off to the left of the spike. To the right of the spike, do the same thing. This is to protect the fingerboard, and we're going to do the other two the same way. Now that all the tape has been installed at A, B, and C, I like to get a wider piece of tape, or longer piece of tape rather, and put it on the underside of the sticky side up to sticky side down, so sticky side to sticky side. On both the bass and treble side of this. this process goes a lot quicker than the explanation. But when we get finished, we'll be able to pull this tape off and out with hardly any trouble at all. Now I'm going to be employing my miniature fret dressing file. It has a smooth side here, very smooth teeth on this side, and a smooth convex side here. Flat, no teeth; convex, no teeth; fine teeth, fine teeth. And what I want to do is pull the strings out of the way with my thumb and just touch up or round over those sharp corners that we made. Next thing I want to employ is this fret recrowning file. It has two grits. One side is 150, the other side is 300, and it removes from its little handle here. And this is going to bevel the top of those spikes rather. And this is going to bevel the top of those spikes, because nothing is more aggravating than a spike that hurts. Or an ugly spike, for that matter. Hit all three of these with 150. Turn it around. The 300 side, a little smoother. Set that aside. Grab the 400 grit paper. Stay off the frets and the fingerboard. Next I'll grab the steel wool. You don't want to get too aggressive for this, it's fine. Brush that off. Either side. Pull up. Pull out. And you got very little cleanup. Just wipe that off with your fingers. These are very smooth. I don't feel those. They feel like little fretlets. They're absolutely wonderful looking. I want to show you a close-up of how nice these spikes turned out. Alright, now I'm going to take the one piece of tape that was under here off this string. Just pull right through it. I actually want to put a pick on for this. Push down toward the fingerboard, and then up. Thank you for spending a little piece of July 5th, 2010 with me learning the way I install railroad capo spikes on a banjo. Please feel free to visit my website, acousticbox.com, where I offer many how-to articles, and soon we'll be adding more video such as this. Thank you.